Honestly, I think a better title for this one would have been Umbrella Universe, but what do I know? Hello everyone, I'm Brian from UK Gaming Network. Welcome to the re-review, where I get to replay and reassess games from my favourite gaming era. 30 years ago, I was fortunate enough to be a writer for magazines such as GamesX, Amiga Action and PlayStation Zone. During this time, I got to play and review a lot of Amiga games, and in this series I'm going to be taking a look at them all again, one game at a time. I'll tell you a little bit of history about the game and the people who made it, check out my original review, and then play it again to see how accurate my original assessment was. Opinions can change over the years, or it could just be that I was wildly off the mark first time around. It's going to be fun finding out. In this episode, I'm going to be taking a fresh look at Parasol Stars, The Story of Rainbow Islands 2, created by Taito Corporation and converted to the Amiga by Ocean Software in 1992. Let's make a journey to the Cave of Monsters. With those immortal words began one of the most successful series of arcade games ever made. Bubble Bobble hit Japanese arcades in 1986, with the US and Europe following soon after. The journey of Bub and Bob to rescue their girlfriends from the clutches of Baron von Blubber has gone on to spawn multiple imitators, sequels and spin-offs over the years, all accompanied by some of the catchiest music in gaming. Conversions to all 8-bit and 16-bit home computers were published by Firebird Software and developed by Software Creations in 1987. The addictive two-player gameplay meant that it was an instant favourite for me and my friends. Lead programmer David Broadhurst would later go on to form Psionic Systems and produce both Assassin and Overdrive with Team 17. The sequel, Rainbow Islands, was also finished and set to be released in 1989, also by Firebird, but arguments over publishing rights meant that it wouldn't actually appear until 1990 via Ocean Software. The Graph Gold developed Amiga version earned rave reviews across the board, and even placed at number 1 on the first ever Amiga Power Top 100 games of all time. I remember being very surprised by that choice, as I thought it was an okay game but not a great one. However, in the years since, the game has done nothing but go up in my estimation, and I would now consider it one of my favourite games of all time as well. When I published my Amiga Top 100 last year, I put it at number 8. The next game in the series, Parasol Stars, didn't come out in the arcades at all, and was instead developed for the PC Engine. The conversion this time was produced by Ocean's own in-house development team, with programming handled by Mick West, whose Amiga credits would also include the movie conversion Darkman and Lethal Weapon, as well as top-down shooter Rotox with Creative Materials. If, like me, you think you recognise that name, that would be because Mick West founded a small development team that you may have heard of, called Neversoft. You know, developers of the Spider-Man game for the PlayStation, and creators of the long-running Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series. That Neversoft. According to the title screen, Parasol Stars is The Story of Rainbow Islands 2, which has always confused me a little, because Rainbow Islands was the story of Bubble Bobble 2, so therefore doesn't that make this Bubble Bobble 3? If so, where does that leave Bubble Symphony, which is actually called Bubble Bobble 2 in some territories? And then there's Bubble Memories, which is actually called The Story of Bubble Bobble 3 on its title screen. And then there's Bubble Bobble 4 Friends, which is clearly not the fourth game in the series and therefore doesn't have a clever title. It's something that's been bothering me for 30 years, and I'm clearly overthinking it, and I'm not going to get an answer anytime soon. And don't even get me started on the Puzzle Bobble series. Whereas the first two games have gone on to be released and re-released on various systems over the years, indeed I only recently bought Bubble Bobble on the Switch. Parasol Stars has had no such luck, and the only version that has come out since 1992 was a version for the Virtual Console on the Wii in 2008, and that means that you can no longer buy it. Maybe it's time that Taito rectified this situation. Now let's go back to 1992 though, and see what I said about it in my original review. Parasol Stars adorned the cover of issue 46 of GamesX from March 1992, and my two-page exclusive review was on pages 14 and 15. I have no idea who created that artwork for the cover, but that was clearly not provided by either Ocean or Taito. A shame really, as the game's box featured some typically excellent Bob Wakelin artwork. It was the X-rated Game of the Week, and I awarded it 5 X's out of 5. I gave both gameplay and presentation 19 out of 20, and with Last Ability earning 17 out of 20. Other Amiga games featured in the issue included reviews of Race Driving and Utopia the New Worlds, as well as the first previews of Dynablaster and Darkseed. In my summary, I praised how Parasol Stars managed to stand out in an incredibly crowded platform genre thanks to its addictive gameplay, especially thanks to its 2-player mode, which had been absent from Rainbow Islands. This is a very playable and addictive product, a game well worth buying, and it will keep you playing solidly for weeks to come. Has Taito's forgotten entry in the series aged as well as its predecessors? Time for the playtest to find out.
Okay, so Parasol Stars, the story of Rainbow Islands 2. It was even called Rainbow Islands 2 on the box art, just to confuse matters even further. Anyone who's played Bubble Bobble or Rainbow Islands previously will notice that this has more in common with the first game than the second one, keeping all the levels confined within the walls of a single screen, although on later levels they do extend out into more screens. But the umbrella is a pretty versatile weapon, it must be said. You can use it to catch both bubbles and enemies to fling across the screen. You can hold it out in front of you to protect yourself. You can even press down and fire to hold it and slow your descent when you're falling. The aim of the game is just like the original Bubble Bobble, to clear the screen of enemies. Music is once again insanely catchy. Flinging bubbles doesn't just attack enemies, it will also pick things up for you. So it's definitely a game that has a lot of hidden depth compared to what you would initially think while upon playing it for the first time. Ooh, music change, must be a boss fight. Simple as that. Over to world number 2, and this is where the levels start to extend out a little bit. Those bigger enemies you do kind of have to take out early, because they act as spawners. If you don't get rid of them, then the level will have a continuous supply of enemies. Unicorns! As we all know, unicorns are evil. I don't think it's an insult to this game to say that it's the third best out of the 3 Bubble Bobble games on the Amiga, but it's more of a testament to how good the previous 2 were, rather than any slight on this game. I think with the larger levels and things like that this game has, it takes away some of the simplicity, some of the simplistic brilliance that the previous games had. You do get 1 additional credit, so it's not instantly game over as soon as you lose your lives. The screens that extend sideways do actually confuse matters even more if you start playing this in 2-player mode. Difficult boss. I think what makes the Bubble Bobble series so addictive is the fact that there's no 2 games are ever alike. there's just so many secrets to discover that it just makes you want to play again and again. Oh, let's turn them all into cakes. Just earned myself another extra life for reaching 1,000,000 points. I've done it. It has completed the level. Oh no, it hasn't. Oh, damn it. There's one little tiny creature left. Okay, so that was a quick look at Parasol Stars. I think it's definitely the third best of the Bubble Bobble series, but like I said before, that's not an insult. That's just a testament to how good Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Islands were. Still very much worth playing. There's a lot of games like this on the Amiga, as you'll see when the Super League comes up in a minute. And this still ranks fairly highly, so I would definitely suggest that you play it. If you've got an A500 Mini, then you should be seeking this one out as one of the games to add to it. So it's now time to summarise my feelings in the re-review itself.
There's much to enjoy in Parasol Stars, even if I would consider both Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Islands to be better games overall. It manages the difficult task of being familiar to fans, but different enough to stand out on its own, and together they make for an excellent trilogy. The Parasol is an extremely versatile weapon and allows for a number of different ways for you to play the game. Experimentation is both encouraged and rewarded. It looks and sounds the part too, with bright, colourful sprites, great character design, and another insanely catchy earworm in the background. I don't think that extending the levels out sideways helped the later levels that much, as there were a number of times where I thought I'd cleared a screen only to find enemies still alive. In 2-player mode, there are also moments where you'll get stuck on the side of the screen, leading to frustration. There are also some annoying difficulty spikes, but thankfully they aren't enough to spoil your overall enjoyment of the game. If you've never played this game before, then it's definitely one that I would recommend that you seek out and try. Here's the Super League for arcade platform games on the Amiga, a category that has a lot of really good titles in it, including Rodland and Snow Brothers. A game as good as Parasol Stars only just manages to scrape into the top 10. I think maybe the 5-star review that I gave it first time around was a little bit excessive, and I'd probably downgrade that to 4 stars or maybe 7 out of 10 if I was reviewing it today. Thank you for watching this episode of the Re-Review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then there's a playlist of all previous episodes right here on the channel, and you'll find a link to the playlist in the description. If you stick around to the end of this one, then you'll even get a little clue as to what game I'm going to be playing next. All opinions expressed in this video are entirely mine, and not those of the UKGN team. If you disagree with anything that I've said, then please feel free to comment and let me know what you think. If you want to support our channel and what we do, then please do give us a like and subscribe. You can also follow me over on Twitter at UKGNZoidberg to find out what's going on with the channel and what games I'm currently playing. Until next time, happy retro gaming. Bye for now.